Hello and welcome to my Beehiiv Newsletter tutorial. Here I'm going to be showing you the newsletter setup, how to create a newsletter with Beehiiv, how to edit the newsletter design, as well as saving it as a template so you can reuse it multiple times over. If you'd like to follow along, I will leave my link down below, and if you click that, you can get a free trial for Beehiiv. Even better, I'm currently working on getting a coupon code for you, so should you want to upgrade in the future, I will leave that down there once I get it. Let's get started. So once you are logged in into Beehiiv, what you want to do is look to the left, and under the right section right here, we're going to be going to post. I already have one here, so if you don't have one, it'll be blank. And just to show you for future reference when we talk about it, if you click on this caret right here, you're going to say use template. So eventually when we do save a template, this is where you're going to come back to so that you can use it eventually, right? But we're just going with a blank draft, so we can click on start writing. All right, so here we are when it comes to how to create a newsletter with Beehiiv. It's actually very easy to do. On the right, you're going to show this, like this is going to be the name. So whenever you save it, so this is to be like test, email for tutorial, right? Something like that. Now you can show this in the email or you can not show it. It's really going to be up to you. I'm probably just going to do no because I want to actually do, say, a picture at the top or a logo. I think that should be at the top. So we can select author. I'm already there. If you have any guest authors, you can utilize those. Show byline in email, hide from feed, and display date. A lot of these are self-explanatory. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of it, which is going to be obviously adding our content. So one thing I do want to let you know, this is going to be where everything goes in your newsletters. So you have your pictures, your logo, your text, your links, anything else that's going to be. If you want to change, say, the font, the color, the spacing, there's going to be a separate section for that. If you click on these three dots and you simply go to the theme settings like this. As you can see, that's where everything is going to be edited. I'm going to jump back to that later after I create the newsletter, but I just wanted to let you know in case you're like, well, how do I change around the specifics? That's going to be how we'll get to that. So let's get started. So first thing, what do you want to do? If ever you want to type something, just simply click there and you can type as you like. Everything is going to be business as usual, just like you're writing on a Word doc or WordPress or a website. That part's going to be the very easy part. So that's the one thing you need to know. Anytime you want to type, just type. The other option is going to be doing a // as you can see. So if you type in that // you can browse the options. So these are going to be a lot of the main things that you can utilize. So we have like bullet list, images, horizontal rules, subscriber breaks, table of contents. Going down here are going to be the headings. We have some embeds. So it could be a link, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And for premium, we have some advertisements, referrals, HTMLs, AI writer, paywall, break, recommendation, boost, poll, and AI image. So like I talked about previously, say I wanted to utilize my logo at the top. So if you're unsure of like where it is, you don't feel like looking through it. I know it's image, but you could always type in image and it'll actually start, picking it up for you so you don't have to look through. So let's click on image. And we can upload an image if you don't have it uploaded already, obviously, but I already have one. So let's go use from library. And from here, I'm going to click on my long logo. And just like that, it's going to be up at the top. So what we can also do, if we click on the gears here, well, I'll go through. So if you want to like link it, if you hover over this, it'll tell you can edit image information. And of course, this is what we want with the options. So let's click on options. If you don't want to make it as big, you can make it a little bit smaller. Really up to you, right? I think like 80 looks pretty good. We have our alignment. I don't think I want it on the left. I think center looks fine. If you want to add some borders to it, you can do that. But since mine is transparent, like a PNG picture, I'm going to keep it exactly how it is. So don't want to add a caption there. If we wanted to, we can just do that. And now we're going down to like the first part of it. Something else I want to show you, there is an undo button right here. So if you ever want to just undo a few clicks, that's probably going to be your best bet. And you can do the forward version of it. So undo, redo, or for whatever it's called, right? The opposite of undo. So let's say we have our sections. From here on out, it's going to be basically up to you in terms of the template that you want to use. So I'll give you an example. Like the first part could be an introduction along with what next section is going to be like headline with main point. Next, once again, I'm just going to copy this. Say we're talking about like two big topics in this newsletter, right? And then at the end, maybe you have some recommended resources. Maybe they're yours. Maybe they're someone else's. Like this is a way where you can obviously monetize it. Maybe you have a new webinar. Maybe you're looking to get coaching clients. Maybe you have a strategy session, whatever it could be, right? For me, since I talk a lot about software, I get a lot of coupons. I get a lot of deals. I get a lot of discounts. I do a lot of reviews. So that's a perfect spot for me, for anyone who's interested in online marketing and online business, to learn some of the new softwares and tools that are out, plus get a nice little discount should they want to use them. That's just an idea. Obviously with your niche is going to be different, but this is just like a basic way of going over. So this is pretty much going to be simple. An introduction. Hey, welcome to my newsletter. Here, where, and now what we can do, let's hit enter. And here's going to be another one we can use. So let's click on or press /, and you'll notice we have bullet list. This is going to be great. So we can do numbered list. We can do bullet list. Let's just go with bullet list. So the first thing is going to be about like email. I'd probably make it a little bit more attractive, as opposed to just saying like newsletters, like why they're the new best thing. Obviously, you can work on your copywriting or just, make that a little bit better. Then, of course, whatever we're going to be talking about, like webinars. Just the first thing off the top of my head, like I said. Now we can just be done with that. Let's hit enter twice. Okay, so say like that was our introduction. Obviously, we're going to have a little bit more there. Now what we can do is do /. And we can do just pretty much a horizontal rule. So this is going to break up each section. So if we do this, you'll notice it's going to be right there. And this, once again, is something else that we can change, which I'll show you later when we go to our theme settings. You can choose what color it is. You can choose how far away it is from each of those, and so on and so forth. So given the fact that we did our introduction, now we're going to be talking about newsletters. What we can do is do our /. Let's say we want to do like a heading 2 is fine, right? Heading 1 is like usually reserved for like a title. So I'm just going to go with that. So we had why email newsletters are a must use, something like that. Okay, so that's going to be our headline. And after that, let's say we want to add another picture. Let's do forward. And once again, we can go with image. And we can go with use from library. I already have some uploaded, which are fantastic in my opinion. Just wait till you see. Let's go with this one. And there we are. So obviously this is something related to like, I forgot what the phrase was, but it was like deep sea diving under a marketing island to find like the best opportunity, something like that. And this is what it came up with. And I thought it looks just really cool. If you do use a cool picture like this, I would recommend like relating it, obviously. Don't just put like why email newsletters are a must use and then you have the picture of a person riding a bike. You know what I mean? Like it's just not related. So that's no bueno. So, and of course, once again, this is going to be where our text is. So our text is going to go here. And something else I do want to give you a little tip on is make sentences shorter and choppier. What you can also do is add more bullet points. Okay, another great way of making it easier on the eyes. Let's see. It's great because so there are plenty of great tutorials to follow along with, and whatever the third reason is, and of course, add some more text. Okay. And that would be a section. Like obviously it could be a little bit longer than that, but for me personally, I like repeating the same steps. So once again, we have that section. We can use our line break again. So we can do the horizontal rule and just like that. And we're pretty much, in my opinion, going to be repeating the same thing. So the headline 2 is going to be the next one. What we were talking about here was webinars. Okay. And once again, we're going to have another image. Let's do / and let's do image again. And of course, we'll just use the parrot, having the parrot assistant while working, by an island on your laptop. Like I said, marketing island vibes, and once again, I'm just going to copy this right here and just paste it in so that we know we have some text there. Okay. Let's do our line break one more time. Like once you get a good idea about how this works, like I think you're going to have a really good time with this. So once again, you really all you need to know is the text and the /. So if you want to use like an embed link, I'm just trying to see like a button. If you want to use a button, we can put a button here. So you can do like subscribe, see my recommendations, read online, share the newsletter, check out my website, say something like that. And of course, it has the link to it already. But, if you don't want to do that, you don't need to. Just kind of giving you some ideas. If you want to make a link, let's do this. And we have the link right here. So we do HTTPS. Disclaimer, as always, don't send your traffic to AOL. They have plenty of it. It's just an example. And you'll notice how it automatically gets bolded and turns blue. That's because I set it up in, once again, this section, which I will get to at the end. Okay? All right, so let's do one more thing. Obviously, it's going to be up to you what you utilize. So we can do a /. Let's see. We have table of contents. That could have been done above. Let's just say we wanted to do the table of contents. Obviously, we can move this up. So what we do is drag it. Let's move it up there. All we have to do is click on this, drag and hold, move it up like that, and then of course moving it up above, and just like that. Here's what we're going to be talking about, table of contents, if you want to make it a little bit better. And that's just kind of a very quick example. Obviously you could do like, like thanks for reading, so on and so forth. There's also ways to integrate polls here too. If you do /POL, you have to actually set it up first. But once you set it up, this is where you can drop it there. So you create it and you say something like, how was this newsletter? Was it fantastic? You give it an option. It was great. It was good. It could be better. It was a failure, whatever it's going to be, right? So that's actually going to be the very quick process when it comes to creating your newsletter. Remember, a lot of this is going to just be, how do you want to template this? Like, what's going to be your structure, and then filling in that structure. Of course, here's going to be the other cool thing. Let's say we really like this structure and we want to keep using it. All we have to do is simply click on the Save Template right here. So let's call it the, all right, there we go. So we have the tutorial template. And what we can do is this like save and view template. There we are. There's going to be the template that we utilize. So all we have to do is like just change around the stuff and so on and so forth. Pretty cool, right? And then anytime we want to use it, just simply go to use this template. Remember I showed you how to get there originally. When we click on write and post, there's going to be a drop-down section with your templates. And then we want to pick this one because we want to use it. Let's just go back there very quickly. And there we are. There's our template so that we can use it for any new newsletter that we do. So, all right, so we have just one more step because you have the newsletter set up. You know how to create a newsletter in Beehiiv, and you know how to save a newsletter as a template so you could save a ton of time. Last but not least, let's quickly go into the newsletter design tutorial. Remember, anytime you want to get there quickly, you go to the three dots and simply click on the theme settings. So here we are. As you can see, if I hit this caret right here, there's going to be a lot of sections right here. Now, this is just going to be in the lab when you go to edit everything. Keep in mind what is written here has nothing to do with what's going to show in your template. It's more so how it looks, the font, the color, the spacing, and so on and so forth. So for example, with the background, obviously here's white. I think this looks just fine. A lot of this is just going to be like, changing it, see how you like it, changing it, see how you like it. So for example, we have body text. This is a big one you might want to change. I have Helvetica, but for example, if you want everything to be Georgia, you click on Georgia. And it's going to change just like that. So then you're going to be pretty much, if you save this, using Georgia on all of yours. I already like Helvetica, so I'm going to keep it with that. It's going to change back. Perfect. Same thing with line height. Like if you want to do less, you'll notice it makes it like crunched together, which I think is too bunched. I think normal is fine. And a lot of these things are just simply going to be preference. So we have font size 16. If you made it 20, it's going to be very big, right? If you want to make it a little bit smaller, up to you. If you like what I'm using, feel free to model mine. I modeled mine after another one and a different tutorial I did previously. So I happen to like this one. I'll probably change it right in the future, but space between paragraphs. So we have 10. Let's just do 23. So you can see the big difference there. I kind of like 10 or maybe a little bit less. Once again, up to you. Here we are with the hyperlinks. Remember when I put one there and it automatically was like a little bit darker or just like underlined? You can make it bold too as well. So there you go. If you want to utilize that, if you want to do underlines, whatever it's going to be with that. We have header text, so we're good with that. We have header text. So any of the headers here. Now keep in mind with the header text, I think it goes all the way to H6. So there's 3. These are just more examples of what it would look like. So H6 is correct. So what we do, that's H1, the biggest one there, right? So everything is going to be very similar. We have family, the font weight, the line height, the font size, the space between elements, which is going to be, should be around it there. So it was at 3. Now it's going to be a lot bigger. There you go. And you'll notice only H1 changes there. Okay, so this is just the H1 setting. Let's go back to 3 because I think 3 looks great. Okay, if you scroll down, same thing with H2. And if I scroll all the way down even more, like I said, it's going to do H3, H4, H5, and H6. So those you can kind of change around to your liking. Then we have the email header, okay, font family, once again, if you want to change that around. So as you're going to see here, a lot of the things are pretty much going to be very similar. So that's going to be the footer at the bottom. This is pretty much where you just change a lot of your content breaks, your button colors, your text colors, your background, the spacing, like the lines in between. So we have our content breaks. There we go with this right here. It's solid. You can change that to dotted. You can change it to dashed. Thickness you can change, so it's going to be double the size. I think 1 is fine. Width also, so you can make it a little bit longer, but I think it was at solid before. I think that looks just fine. Images, once again, things you can change with that, like the vertical spacing. So there is an image right here. So whenever you're going to change something, make sure you look at it here so you can say like, all right, that's a good amount of spacing. So this is at 4 now. And you'll notice that the bottom moved a little. So it didn't move a whole lot, but I think it was fine where it was. Horizontal spacing is fine. Text alignment, font family once again. And we have a few other things like block quotes. If you go down here, I think there's a block quote right there. a few of them. So there you go. Once again, font family. And I think I could probably just stop there because it's just the same thing. It's really your preference, but this is going to be where you change a lot of the colors, the text, the font, so that it looks great towards your brand. Really up to you how you want to do it. And that's pretty much going to do it when it comes to this Beehiiv newsletter tutorial. That's how you can go and create your newsletter. You can save templates from it. I give you some ideas when it comes to how you can structure it and some ideas about things you can put there. Remember, saving it as a template is going to save you so much time because if you use the same structure, all you got to do is change around like the images and the text, of course, which isn't as big of a deal when everything's already set up for you. Last but not least, I showed you how to kind of edit design. This is all going to be in this section here. Very simple to do. You just got to kind of tweak around with it, play with it, say, do I like this or do I like that? Be good with it. And of course, once you're done, simply click on the save changes and the changes will appear in your newsletter. So that about concludes my Beehiiv newsletter tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And of course, if you want to test out Beehiiv, I will have my affiliate link in the description where you can get a free trial. I'm going to be working on getting that coupon code. When I do get it, should you want to upgrade, that will be in the description as well. So you can save a good amount of money on a Beehiiv paid subscription. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.